There's some trees bent down. This one here is bent down. There's another one bent down, bent right over here. There's one bent. I'm in an area of a lot of reported sightings and encounters. I'm not naked, so to speak. This is a very, very creepy area. Ever since me and Squatchbait got here, he's out there on the lake right now. A little bit nervous. We were checking out some breaks across the way, and as we were heading on down the way, we had saw this young eagle, so we puttered back around. And as we were getting footage of the eagle, as soon as I shut off the camera and put it away, we were coming over this direction, and everything went quiet for a little bit. I heard a bird a few minutes ago, but the air is kind of still right now. It's a little warm. We'll go back over here towards the lake. I don't want to be too far out of hollering range. This whole place, once you get down here, it is just denser than dense. Some of this stuff is just, I mean, unreal. I'm intentionally making noise, just so you know. I want to be heard by any black or brown bears. I'm not far from a couple remote salmon fishing places, so excuse me, I'm navigating the forest floor. There's all sorts of fallen stuff, just random stuff like this stuff here. It just seems so, I don't know, something strange about it. But this whole area has weird rotten stuff, like halfway up, a little ways up. I mean, look at this birch tree here. That rotted and broke off. There's some more broken stuff over there. This whole area, oh, that looks like a scrape on the tree over here. Hold on. What do we got over there? Hold on. Let's see that. Maybe a bear scratch. And again, don't try this at home. Out in remote Alaska, you got to be prepared. Oh, it was shadowing. From back over there, it looked like striation marks from claws or something over here. Not to say that that isn't a bear, but I don't see any claw marks. No. This whole area is just kind of creepy, to be honest with you. The reason I'm out here is James and Deborah were doing just this backpacking trip. They had some hammock tents. Excuse me. This is marshy tundra, muskeg under my feet, right near a lake. So James and Deborah were doing exactly what I'm doing now, and they were screamed at from approximately, they guesstimated about 100 feet away, but they couldn't see it. And let's see why. Look how dense this is. Do you think something 100 feet away you're going to be able to see if it's not wanting to be seen? Mosquitoes are vicious. Vicious. But this whole area has got weird things going on. We got randomly broken trees, all over 6 foot high. This one here is just above, almost out of my reach, not too much. But see, some of this could be dry rot too, so it could be misread. You don't want to let natural phenomena kind of dictate your thought process. You gotta look at things. Although that break right over there kind of looks a little suspect. So I'm sorry, my head's on a swivel. I'm literally in the area of what happened. So they hear the scream about 100 feet out, about 100 feet out or so. And as they are, hold on, I had to set something down. So as they're walking along and this scream happens, no sooner than they turn to look in that direction, they heard movement. Man, okay, there's a bird off in the distance. Man, it keeps getting dead quiet. I'm in some dense shit, man. Anyway, so they have this movement starts after that scream, so they're immediately heading the opposite direction. Now, you guys have been watching me film as I walk through this stuff. Imagine doing that, adrenalized, heart bumping, mind clicking. They had some bear spray with them, but that wasn't going to help them. They were running approximately close to a, it's not this particular lake, it's one very nearby. This is not the exact location, but it's in the same chain of lakes. So they take off running, and they know there's a, within a couple miles, there's the, I think it's the Nancy Lake recreational area, right? So they knew if they kept going east, they would come to this, into the state recreation area and find a road. So that's what they were doing. The whole time, they're making a break for it. They have multiple miles to go. Multiple miles to go. They're adrenalized at the moment. But, I mean, it's remote Alaska. You know, I mean, I'm paying attention to where I'm stepping, and it's still soft, mushy. I mean, if you look, I'm walking on mushy stuff here. Fucking phone dying. That's not a good thing either. I have a battery pack to recharge it. I apologize. So the whole time they're running for their lives, forgive me, I'm distracted out here. The whole time they're running for their lives, they are being paralleled, sometimes passed, sometimes trailed and cut back and forth, right? And they're going through this stuff, you know, something that big moving. They heard each individual bipedal stepping, boom, 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 boom. The whole time they are frazzled. This was approximately a year ago, about the same time of year. So we're literally looking at the exact same conditions they dealt with. There's all sorts of stuff that if you don't keep a sharp lookout, like that stump back over there, that could throw you off. If you're panicky, you can't be panicky. It opens up a little bit over here. Hold on. So they're literally running with this thing paralleling them. Sorry if this is giving them, anyone with OCD problems. Continuity of the story, man. Don't interrupt it. So they had almost 10 miles and landed the midnight sun. It got a little darker than what it is now, but not much. So they literally would run, tire themselves out, scream and yell, bolster themselves up, holding that bear spray. And it's, I've heard of accounts of it working, so I'm not knocking it. But literally, oh, excuse me, running through this shit. This here. from something just out of your sight. You could hear it making noises. There was a lot of raven impersonations. Only one partial owl hoot, and they couldn't tell if there was a second one because how everything was happening. They were so terrified they couldn't tell because it sounded like it was all around them. The quick short owl hoot, so they couldn't really pinpoint the direction. Yeah, it's a little creepy out here. So they literally run for 6.5, 7 hours, falling, running out of breath, freaking the fuck out, trying to get in the water. It was too cold to sustain staying in it. Meanwhile, the whole time they hear this thing back in areas like I'm standing now, breaking and thrashing shit. Now these are their accounts, but I see evidence of breaking and random carnage. I mean, look at the break right over there, and this one right here, right in front of me. I mean, and it's random. It's random stuff. Some of it you could tell is from dated deadwood. Others are still holding life in them, and they're snapped at the top. Like that one over there. That one's still alive down below where the break is for now, but all through here. So with this thing paralleling them, it never came within range for them to see for the longest time. It was approximately 9:30, 10 o'clock at night here when this shit started. So it wasn't barely different light different than this. So, and imagine, just out of sight, somewhere around you, this thing heaving, throwing an ever-loving fit. It doesn't instill friendship. It doesn't instill, I don't want to harm you, at least not to me. Forgive my sporadicness with this camera. I'm not out for clickbait shit. I'm no shit out in the middle of remote Alaska in a very I'd say different place, man. It's crazy out here. All sorts of weird sounds. The whole, when we're coming up this way, you could hear everything changing here. It seems to be all right now. Anyway, forgive me. I don't mean to keep dropping the story on y'all. I'm not feeling very easy. So as they're running, they recognize they're near a portage trail from one of the canoe areas. I think it would be pretty near Lynx Lake. So they were further east of where I am now. So anyway, let me have a seat and calm down a little bit here, guys, because it's just got me a little frazzled. So anyway, they were running to recognize the portage trail. They get to it, and as they're running down it towards where a parking area is, they don't remember which one. There happened to be someone pulling in with some canoes, and they're waving them down. And as the people stopped to render aid, because they were obviously freaked out, obviously freaked out. Hold on. Man, this is there's some creepy shit. So they flagged the person down. Here's an example of what they were running through. Look at this. My boot just slipped through some tundra and some dead tree. You never know. There's a fallen tree there. If I was being charged by a bear right then, that could have been ugly. So they flag him down. The person stops and is like, what's going on? And as the person is asking what's going on, there was a bunch of thrashing by the trees and a scream. Now this thing could have easily caught him. This thing very easily could have ended them both. No problem. It was toying with them. It was getting ahead of them and getting behind them. There's something wrong with that, in my opinion. Something real wrong with that. I'm getting the creeps from somewhere back over here, and I can't quite see through the trees. Back over there, there's something that keeps getting my attention, but I don't want to be paranoid. But trust me, I'm not fucking around either. If something comes after me, it better mean it, because I'll mean it. And so anyway, person lets them jump in, hears them screaming themselves, and gives them a ride back to the road. Dropped them off near the fireworks stands, a ways away from here, but on the main Parks Highway. Dropped them off at Guerrilla Fireworks. They don't know the person. They didn't have a chance to introduce themselves. They basically spilled their guts to this person, and the person really had nothing to say. Was just in shock because of the obvious trauma. Now, people could say James and Deborah were full of it, or you know, they're just making it up, or something like that. It's kind of, unless you've been out this deep in the woods, then you know, I wouldn't say much. Because look where I'm standing here. Look how dense it is all through here. What is anyone seeing? It's just trees upon trees, and that's maybe 40 feet away to where the sun's hitting those trees, and it just nothing but. It's crazy. So anyway, that's what happened with James and Deborah. In a spot, there'd be no way to find the exact spot, but I came out to the area. It would be the Nancy Lake recreation area, would be east of where we are right now by just a bit. It took a little doing to get out here, but I mean, look at all this around here. This is just dense. Anyway, I'm going on to the next area where I want to share with what happened to another individual that was out here. Anyone yell at me if you hear or see something coming up behind me that I don't see. And trust me, I look up too, because some of these trees are rather tall, and if you're just stuck on one horizon, that may be your undoing. Anyway, this is on location in a real fucking creepy place. I'm not just saying that to say it. This is really a legit creepy fucking place. Especially back over here. There's just a feeling back over here. I don't test that shit. I want some footage, but not at that cost. I'm not trying to pop shots on YouTube or record some shit like that. I'm seeing if me walking away will potentially make whatever glint of whatever that was I saw move. It might just be a moose, and that would be just as dangerous. You can't see nothing out here. Anyway, remote Alaska, no mountains around, can't even see them. I'll catch you guys here shortly at the next stopping point along this way, because this is one creepy fucking place. Anyone, I'll bring them out here and let them camp overnight. I wouldn't want to. There's just something about it. Anyway, we'll catch you here in a minute.